I'm finally on my lunch break. Man, today is just moving so slowly. There's just so much that I have to do. I can't believe how much work there is for me to do today. I think I might end up coming home late from work tonight. There's just so much. I was just wondering if my sister and all them had already gone home or if they were still there.
Actually, they just went to go back to their place not that long ago. But man, I really just have to say that they were being so loud and noisy right up until they walked out of the house.
Well, it sounds to me like you had quite a bit on your hands then. Thank you so much for putting up with them. It means a lot to me, you know?
The truth is that I was already tired of them basically right after they arrived, to be honest.
I know, but I mean, they do have 2 kids after all. So I guess it only makes sense that they're going to cause a ruckus when they're there, right? But I hope that you were at least able to have a little fun with them while they were visiting.
Yeah, it isn't that I didn't have any fun or anything like that, but I just felt like I couldn't have a moment to myself that whole time. In fact, I've been meaning to bring this up for a while now, but don't you think that your sister has been coming over just a little bit too much lately? I just mean that ever since we moved into your house, your sister and her family has been coming over to spend the night weekly.
Oh, come on. You can't really be serious about that, right? I mean, you know they come over all the time because we live so close to the baseball stadium, right? You know how much they love baseball. They come over all the time so that it's easier for them to get to the games. Not to mention how close we live to the aquarium, the zoo, the amusement park, all that fun stuff. It's a convenient location for a family like my sister's.
And I get that we live in a really good place for families wanting to go out and have fun, but I just understand why it is that they have to stay in the night at our place every time that comes over. And more of that, they just come over so often. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like your sister just can't take a hint no matter how many I drop. But I just wish that she would come over just a little less, you know?
I know, but we're all family now. So I really don't think that you should be thinking like this about my sister and all. You don't want to end up pushing them away, do you?
No, it isn't anything like that, and I'm really glad that your sister and her family feel so comfortable around us.
Then I really don't see what the problem is. They all come over, wear themselves out having fun, and they go home. I don't know. I think it's kind of nice that they get to take so many trips as a family together, you know? And I think more than anything, my sister and her family are just kind of people who enjoy getting to spend time together with their family.
Well, it's not that I mind spending time with them. I just don't get why they always need to spend the night here. I mean, you realize they come over and spend the night every single week, right?
I really don't get what the big deal is, though. I mean, what's wrong with them coming over once a week to stay with us? I don't know. I think you should remind yourself that we're all family and maybe be just a little more forgiving. I really don't think that there's anything too wrong with them spending one night a week here, you know? That's the least we should be doing for family.
I understand why it might not seem like a lot where you're standing, but when they come over to spend the night, it makes a lot of work for me. I have to make sure the whole house is clean before they get here, I have to prepare more dinner than usual, and I have to wash the sheets and set out the air mattresses.
Oh, really? I'm pretty sure that my sister told me that they always try and eat something before they come over to make less work for you. I really don't think, if that's the case, that you'd have to do all that much cooking or anything like that for them.
Okay, but they are still guests, and I can't just not feed them anything. I mean, think about breakfast the next day.
I mean, it's just breakfast. I really don't get what the big deal is here, you know?
Look, I'm just trying to tell you how much extra work it takes for me when your sister and her family comes over all the time. I mean, you really don't know what it's like at all since you have to work on Saturdays. But that day is supposed to be a day off for me, and I would just end up doing so much work on it.
Well, can you just put up with it for me, please? I mean, you do realize that we only found this place that we're living in now because it was my sister who suggested it to us, right? She found the perfect place for us to live and worked really hard to find it for us, you know?
I mean, it's not that I don't feel grateful for that or anything, but I just don't think it's giving an excuse to act like this.
Come on. Just think about all we got, all because my sister knew someone who knew about this place. We have a low mortgage rate compared to the rest of the market, and this house basically checked everything on our dream house box.
I agree that this is a really amazing house and that we were able to get it at a really good price. It's cheap and it's pretty and it does have a lot of things that we want, but I still feel like you're not listening to me.
Of course I am. But I think that you're not understanding that we really do have my sister to thank for all of this. So I think the least you could do is let her visit now and then.
So you're basically just telling me to try and suppress all this discomfort that I've just expressed to you?
I just don't understand why you're doing this. Are you trying to start drama with my sister or something like this? You know, the truth is that my sister actually really wanted to live here.
Oh, really? Is that so? I actually didn't know that she wanted to live here.
Yes, it really is true. Kim was thinking of snatching up this house for herself and her family, but she let us have it instead. So I think that you should really be much more grateful than you are. I mean, you do realize that if you ended up pissing off my sister too much, that we could lose this house to her, right?
What are you talking about? How could that even be possible when we've already signed the contract with this place?
Well, what if Kim approached the real estate agent with an even better offer? Then we might really get kicked out of here. And if we get thrown out of here, then we'll be back to square one in terms of our house hunt. So just please back off my sister for the time being, okay?
Well, I guess if that's actually a real possibility, then maybe I should back off.
Just keep telling yourself that they're gonna get bored coming over so frequently soon enough. And the kids are gonna grow up and will want to do other things for fun. And then they'll probably stop coming over so frequently. It'll all work out in the end, okay?
Okay, well, if you think that me asking her to come over a little less might upset her, do you think that you can maybe ask her for me?
You really are persistent. Do you know that? I thought that we just finished talking about all of this, didn't we?
Please, Chuck, why can't you just listen to me when I tell you about these problems? Your sister and her family have been coming over once a week like this for the past 4 months now. I just am starting to get really, really stressed out, and it's really starting to bother me, and you're not listening.
Okay. Jeez. I get it, okay? I get that you're getting stressed out.
Do you really, though? Because I'm really starting to reach my limits with this happening.
Okay, look. I'll go and talk to my sister about this, but I can't really promise that anything is going to really happen because of it, okay? And anyways, I think that you should be more concerned about getting this month's rent ready, since it's about time that we pay for this place.
Okay, sure, I can do that, but it's a little weird, don't you think? I mean, I feel like typically with a mortgage, the bank would just take the amount from your account. I've just never really heard of paying a mortgage directly to the real estate company and in cash.
Well, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I guess these guys are pretty old school, and that's why they want us to do everything off the grid. I guess they're just from a different age.
I guess, but would you mind if I give them the money this time? It's just that I've never actually met these people, and I think I should at least put a face to the name.
No, don't you sweat any of that at all. I'll handle it. I mean, after all, this guy is a friend of my sister's, so he already knows who I am, you know?
Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that, but if that's the case, then yeah, I guess it makes sense for you to do it. And please remember to talk to your sister about what we talked about here today, okay?
Yeah, of course. I'll be sure to do that.
Hey Miranda, are you there? I was just wanting to say that we're looking forward to seeing you this weekend. And I also just wanted to tell you that you don't have to worry about preparing any kind of food for us. We'll be sure to eat before we come over.
Hi there, Kim. I was just wondering if you hadn't heard from your brother or anything like that recently. I mean, has he talked to you at all about you staying here or anything like that?
No, I don't really think that I've heard anything from Chuck about us spending the night. Actually, we really haven't talked at all for the past few months now that I think about it.
Oh, really? Is that so? I guess that I should have known. He really is just a slippery little snake sometimes.
What do you mean? Did something happen between the two of you? Is everything okay?
Kim, I'm really sorry to this, and I hope you know that I'm not wanting to be rude at all, but... well, I just have to say this. Please stop coming over and stay at our house every single week. I don't mind if your family come over and spend the night every now and then, of course, but you're just coming over much too frequently.
Wait a second, are you telling me not to spend the night at your place anymore?
I'm not saying that you can't ever again, I'm just saying that I'm starting to reach my limits with how frequently it's happening. And if you keep doing this every week, then I just don't get any time off to myself and I get really worn out.
Well, I understand all of what you're saying, but you do realize that it's in your housing contract that my family and I are allowed to do that, right? I mean, you also signed the contract, so I just assumed that you were aware of that rule.
Wait a second, what? Sorry, what contract is this that you're talking about?
Well, I mean, it's the contract you signed to rent this place from us. In exchange for us coming over to spend the night once a week, you all get to rent and live in our vacation home.
Vacation home? I'm sorry. I'm a little confused. I thought that the person who owned this house was some acquaintance of yours, no?
What? No, of course not. Nothing like that at all. That house belongs to my family and it's our vacation home. We just renting it out to you.
But then Chuck told me that there was a company that we were working with. I thought that we were renting this place as our own home. No company or anything like that, but are you really telling me that you haven't heard anything from my brother at all? I mean, we were letting you live there for free after all. But I am just really not understanding anything right now. Chuck told me that we were paying off this house and then we got it through an acquaintance of yours. Not only that, but we've been paying about $1,000 a month for this place.
Well, I don't know what that's about since we're not asking for any rent from you at all.
My brother said he was in some financial trouble, so that's why we came up with this arrangement. So that being said, we haven't seen a single cent in terms of rent money from my brother at all. But I don't understand. I've been giving them the rent money every single month. What in the world happened to that money? This doesn't make sense at all. I don't really know what's going on either, but now that you've told me all of this, but it sounds like my little brother might be up to no good right now. You mean to tell me that Chuck lied to me about the house? You know, about 6 months ago, Chuck came to me saying that he was in some serious financial troubles and asked about renting the vacation house from us. But I told him that if the money was a problem, we would rent it to you two for free as long as we could come over and spend the night once a week. So that's exactly why we've been doing just that. Packing up our car and driving out here to spend the night on the weekends. I see. So that's why you were also intent to come over every single week. Well, I just have to say that I had no idea about any of this. I am so sorry for this mix-up.
You don't have anything to apologize for at all. You didn't do anything wrong. It sounded to me that my brother was living really irresponsibly and got you into this mess without you knowing. I mean, he told me that you guys were living mouth to mouth and basically wouldn't be able to afford any rent at all, but are you telling me now that that's not true?
Of course this isn't true. Chuck and I both work, so if there's rent were that high, then we would for sure be able to pay up for it.
I see. Well, if that's the case, then it sounds like my brother has lied to us both when it comes to that house, but I just wonder what he's really doing with that rent money that he's been taking from you all this time.
I have no idea. Oh, my head feels like it's spinning now that we've had this conversation. Kim, I hope this isn't too much to ask for, but would it be alright to talk about this all in person?
Yes, of course. I was thinking the exact same thing. We need to talk about this.
Hey Chuck, are you there? I was just curious if you're going to have to be working extra late tonight. The thing is that there's something that I'd like to talk to you about, so I would really appreciate it if you could come home a little early.
Oh no! I'm really sorry that I forgot to mention this until now, but we're actually having a little office outing this evening, so I won't be home until quite late tonight.
Oh really? You mean your boss is taking out the whole office to go drinking or something? Wow, well, I just have to say that you really have no idea how jealous that makes me.
Oh, come on. It's not like we're going to be out throwing a rage or anything like that. It's just going to be a boring working dinner, you know? Besides, you know that we don't have the money to go crazy like that.
Oh really? Are you sure about that? What happened to the thousands of dollars that I gave you the other day?
What in the world are you talking about? That money was for our mortgage. Don't you remember? I took that money and went to go pay it in person.
I see. You know, I actually have some questions about this person who you've been paying out rent money to. Like, where do they live? What's the name? What kind of person are they really?
Are you okay, Miranda? Where's this coming from all of a sudden? I don't get why you're being like this.
You know, I'm actually here with your sister right now, if you really want to know.
Oh, really? My sister's there? Wait a second. Isn't it a weekday today? Why is she there right now?
I don't know. Do you want to take any guesses at why I might be here with your sister right now? Let's try and think. I'll give you a hint. It very much has to do with what I was just asking about, who you're paying their rent to.
I'm sorry, but I really just don't understand what you're talking about at all. I mean, really, what are you even talking about?
Okay, well, then let me just tell you that your little secret is out and the two of us know everything now. I know that there isn't anyone that you've been paying our rent money to, and the reason Kim and her family have been coming over weekly is because it's part of her contract you had with her. And I also know that you've been trying to hide this all from me.
Wait, no. What? What are you talking about? Miranda, come on, are you even listening to yourself right now?
Oh, come on, Chuck. Don't you try and play dumb with me. I already told you that we already know everything about what's going on with this. I know that the reason you had to agree to let Kim and her family come over once a week is because she wasn't charging us any rent at all. So, what do you have to say about that, huh? I would just love to hear how you'd get out of this one.
It's Okay, look. I want you to understand that I have a good reason for everything that I've done about this. Okay?
Oh, really? You mean that you have a good reason for lying to me and your sister? And you have a good reason for why you lied to me about where our money was going when I handed over our rent money and cash to you every single month? You know, I've been wondering, just what have you been using all of that money for in the first place, huh?
Well, okay. The truth is that I was just pocketing that money and using it to have some extra pocket money for the month. I'm sorry for lying to you about that.
And is that all you have to say for yourself? How about you try telling me where that all of our money just went?
Well, I've actually been getting really into fishing lately, you see. So I've been asking you for the rent money and spending it on expensive rods and lures and stuff like that.
I've been paying you $1,000 for the past several months now, and you expect me to believe that you spent all that money on fishing? Come on, you're going to have to do better than that, Chuck. Why don't you tell me what else you were spending it on?
Okay. The truth is that I've also been using that money to bet on boat and horse races and those kinds of things.
You mean that you started gambling again? I thought you told me that you were going to quit 2 years ago.
I know. And I didn't lie to you. I really did quit. For a while.
Okay, well, that isn't what quitting means when we're talking about addictions. Do you get that?
I know, but it's just... Look, you have to understand, I only started gambling again a couple of months ago. Okay?
Do you remember all the debt that you got yourself into when you were gambling before you decided to quit, right? Are you telling me that you really haven't learned a lesson from that at all?
Of course I learned a lesson. Back then I was really obsessed with gambling and had a real problem. I put so much money into it and I lost it all. But I've learned how to be smarter about my money, and that's why now I'm not dumping nearly as much money into these races as I used to.
Oh yes, well done, Chuck. You really have found the secret to sustainable gambling. And all you had to do was lie to your wife in order to convince her to hand over her hard-earned money so that you weren't playing with your own. Is that right? Honestly, I really don't even know what to say to you right now. You really are just so sad, do you know that? I mean, really, Chuck. Do you have any idea just how disappointed not only me but also your sister is to you right now? You have no idea just how badly you've let us down. After all, you weren't just lying to me, you were lying to your sister as well. You're creating problems between the two of us, and it's all because you wanted to trick us both so you could selfishly go back to your gambling.
I know, and I really am so sorry about all of this. I never meant to hurt either of you at all. I want you to know that I was really going to tell you the truth once I won big. I just needed a little more time, and then I was going to win all the money that we would need to move out and find a real home that we could actually call our own.
I thought that we already found that here, Chuck. You told me that you had gotten this house through your acquaintance of your sister's. You said that this was our home. I thought that this whole time we were paying the mortgage in order to pay down this house so that we could eventually own it. This whole time, I thought you were just letting your sister and family stay here out for some family obligation. But now I find out that we were never going to own this house because it's already belonged to your sister and her family. Here I thought that you were just letting Kim and her family use our home as their vacation home. But this whole time, it was actually the other way around. Well, I just want you to know that you and I are through now. After I stopped responding to Chuck's message after that, he rushed home and begged Kim and I to forgive him for all of his lies. Of course, neither of us did, and it wasn't long before Chuck and I had started the divorce proceedings. I also made sure to sue him for his fraud since he tricked me into funding his horrible gambling addiction. Even Kim said that she was never going to let another family live in her place for free. I took the alimony money and the money from my lawsuit and used it to move into a nice small condo that suit me perfectly. As for Chuck, I really have no idea what happened to him. His family cut him off and stopped talking to him. Last I heard, he had moved into a tiny apartment and fell back into his gambling ways. I heard through the grapevine that he spent all his spare cash on the races, hoping to make it big one day. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey there, Kim. Long time no see, huh? How have you been, sweetie?
Sharon? Wow, it's been a while, hasn't it? I've been doing fine. Nothing too out of the ordinary is going on with us these days. If you don't mind, can I ask what you're contacting me about?
Please, the first time we've spoken in forever, and you're already trying to cut to the chase? I'm your big sister-in-law. Can't we just chat for a while? You know, talk about all the latest celebrity gossip, that sort of thing.
Didn't you get divorced a while back? My husband was talking to me about that the other day.
Man, you really are all work and no play, Kim.
Sorry, it's just the way I am.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I just got divorced. It all got finalized about 2 months ago now. I guess you could call it irreconcilable differences, as they say. It was kind of a mess.
I suppose there isn't really any clean way to get divorced, especially when kids are involved. Frankly, all those dramas where two divorced parents are super amicable with each other and get along well never seemed very realistic to me. But I suppose more people are getting divorced these days, so maybe that reality is changing too. How are you handling the newly single life? Any troubles making ends meet?
Trouble? I'm not having any trouble at all. I'm getting tons of money from him in child support. I'm rolling in it, baby.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Since you aren't having money problems, you can focus more on your emotional health. If you start to feel lonely, I suppose you could always go out and look for a new husband.
A new husband? Girl, I just got rid of my last husband. I think I'll take my sweet little time before I tie myself down again.
Understandable. So anyways, there was a reason you texted me out of the blue, right?
That's right. I totally forgot. Okay, so I had a teeny tiny favor to ask of you. Would you mind looking after Aiden tomorrow for a bit? I know it's sudden, but something came up tomorrow, and, well, it's something I can't take a kid along with me for.
You want me to do that? But Sharon, isn't Aiden still really young?
Not at all. He's almost 4 years old now.
I'm really sorry, Sharon, but I don't think I can take care of a child that young. I mean, I've never really been good with kids. I'm worried whether or not I could look after him properly.
Oh, don't be silly. You've got nothing to worry about. All you need to do is make sure he doesn't break anything or hurt himself. I'm not asking you to be his playmate or anything. You don't even have to like him. All I need is an adult set of eyes to be there while I'm out. You can handle that.
I'm much less confident than you are, and if you don't mind me asking, why exactly do you want me to do this for you? I mean, what's your ex-husband doing tomorrow? Did you try asking him to look after Aiden?
Him? Sweetie, we just got divorced. He's the last person I want to talk to right now, so he's out of the question. My little brother Jake is always out of the house too, right?
Well, yes, he often has to go out to town for work.
And you're a bar manager, so you only work in the evening. You've got nothing going on during the day, right?
Typically, I've been doing administrative work at home, so I can focus on more off-my-site duties while I'm at work. Sharon,
So then you are free during the day. Come on. You can help me out, can't you? Just this once.
I really don't think it's going to work out.
Sure it will. All you need to do is let him watch TV or something until you leave for work. What time do you typically leave the house?
Around 5:30 or so.
Wow. Do you ever do any actual work?
Yes, I do, but there isn't much for me to do at the bar until then. I have my employees handling getting all stuff and food ready and all that stuff. But for the record, I'm also always the last one to leave the building every night.
Man, you really are one impressive woman, Kim. Running a whole bar by yourself at your age? Wow. That's the sort of thing that people usually have to work their way up to. How did you do it?
It was originally my uncle's bar, and he was training me personally for several years before he tried and handed it over to me.
And it's one of the most popular bars in town. I think I might have to stop by one of these days.
We've strayed pretty far away from the topic at hand. Like I was saying, I'm typically either sleeping or doing administrative work at home during the day, so I can't look after Aiden for you. I leave the house early in the evening, and depending on the day, I might not get back until morning.
I told you, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is be in the same room as him. And your apartment building is in the middle of downtown area, right?
Yeah, it is. And?
I thought so. That means you're really close to my new place. This really is the perfect arrangement. What do you say?
It's only perfect for you, Sharon. It doesn't work for me at all. I'm telling you, you're going to have to find someone else to look after him. I won't be able to either sleep or work with a child in the house.
Sure you will. He's such a quiet and well-behaved boy. You won't even notice he's there. And there is no one else but you. I've already tried. Please, Kim, I'm really in a bind here. I'll pay you back for this, I promise.
Really? Have you tried finding a babysitting service or a daycare or something else along those lines? I don't see why you have to leave him with me.
Ordinarily, I could do that, But Aiden has a bit of a cold right now, so no one will take him. They're pretty strict that if a kid has cold-like symptoms and a fever, they won't take them in.
Me, and understandably so. I don't want to catch whatever he has either. I work in a bar, Sharon. If I catch a cold, it's basically against the law for me to go into work.
Nah, you'll be fine. You're an adult. You won't catch whatever he's got. Kids have super weak immune systems. They catch a cold whenever any virus floats in their general direction. It's such a pain to deal with. He's always getting something.
There's really no one else you can leave him with but me?
Not a soul, Kim. I don't have any friends, and my family are all really far away. But I have something really important to do tomorrow, and I cannot take Aiden with me where I'm going.
All right, but this is a one-time thing, okay? And you must be back to pick him up no later than 5.
Thanks, sweetie. I'll be over there bright and early tomorrow morning to drop him off.
Sharon, where are you? I've been trying to get a hold of you forever. Anyways, answer your phone this instant. Do you have any idea what time it is?
Oops, sorry, sweetie. My phone batteries died. Looks like I forgot to charge it last night.
I was very clear last night, Sharon. I told you that you must pick him up by 5 so I can go to work. But not only did you never come to get him, you didn't even contact me. What on earth have you been doing all this time?
I'm so sorry, Kim. I totally lost track of time. Are you at work already?
Yes, I've been at work for hours at this point.
And what's Aiden doing?
What do you think? My husband's out of town and you flake out on me, so I had to take him to work with me. He's sleeping on the sofa in my office right now.
Oh, really? Wow, I had no idea that was an option. That's great to know.
It's not an option. Not ordinarily anyway. But I couldn't just leave him at my apartment now, could I? I had no choice. And honestly, I'm doubtful about the legality of bringing a 4-year-old child into a bar this late at night.
Man, what a lucky kid. He gets a free trip to the best bar in town.
This isn't the time to be making lighthearted jokes, Sharon. This is serious.
I'm serious too. I've been wanting to go to your bar forever.
Well, I'm glad my establishment has such a high reputation, but this is a bar, not a daycare. People drink alcohol here, Sharon. It's no place for kids.
I know. Sheesh. Someone's grumpy tonight.
And I have every right to be. Now tell me, when are you going to come and pick Aiden up? You need to get here as soon as possible. If he wakes up, I'm gonna have to pull away one of my staff members to look after him. And just that fact he's here at all is making it difficult to focus on my work.
Don't worry. I'll be there to pick him up tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I'm not waiting that long. I'm not waiting at all. Get over here and pick up your son now.
But I can't go there now. It's super late. I'm exhausted. I don't want to drive in the downtown area while I'm this tired.
Unbelievable. Where are you right now anyway?
The beach.
The beach?
Yeah, a couple of my friends were back in town for the day, so we all decided to get together and have a big barbecue on the beach.
But wait, you told me yesterday that you don't have any friends. Isn't that the whole reason that you left Aiden with me in the first place?
Oh, did I say that? Oopsie. I meant to say I don't have any friends who can look after Aiden for me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sleep this off. So I should be over to your place to pick him up. I don't know, sometime around noon tomorrow. Have fun with Aiden tonight. Tell him Mommy says I love you.
Oh my god, you've been drinking? You left your son with me all day so you could go to the beach and get drunk with your friends? That's it, I'm not looking after him tonight. If you're too drunk to drive, then call a freaking taxi.
I can't do that. Taxis are expensive and I'm super tired.
How tired do you think I am right now? I woke up early to take care of your son and I've been constantly have to check in with him while I'm at work.
Tired. What's your problem, Kim? I haven't done anything to deserve getting reamed out like this. It's just for one day. You can handle it.
I'm still in utter shock at the situation. You dumped your kid on me so you could get drunk at the beach. That's absolutely insane. I thought you had work or something. You mean to tell me
Work? I don't have a job.
Tell me that you're taking the money your husband is giving you for child support to buy food and booze for yourself?
Nonsense. All that money goes right to Aiden. I dip into my own personal savings whenever I want to have fun. And it's not like I do this all the time or anything. Today is special.
I'm not sure I believe you.
Really? What kind of mother do you think I am? Obviously, my child always comes first.
Sharon, what the hell is wrong with you? What were you thinking?
Hey, Kim, are you at work already?
Yeah, I am, but imagine my shock when I go to unlock the front door of my bar and I see Aiden standing in the entryway. You abandoned him here all alone? I thought I was seeing things or having a nightmare or something.
I didn't abandon him, and he wasn't alone. You were there, weren't you? I knew you'd be there eventually.
You must be out of your mind. You left him alone at the door to a bar in the middle of a downtown area. People walk around here drunk and high all day long. Not to mention, it's not exactly the safest area of the city. What if something happens to him?
What did you expect me to do? The door to your apartment was locked, and the security guard wouldn't let me leave Aiden with him. My only other option was to go to your bar. I figured if you weren't home that you were either on your way to the bar or already there. And it turns out I was right. Aren't I a regular Sherlock Holmes?
You're a total idiot, Sharon.
No, I am not.
Aiden says he's been waiting here for hours. It's only by the grace of God that one of my early staff members saw him here when he got to the bar and took him inside before it got dark. Do you have any idea what an insanely dangerous thing you just did?
What's the big deal? He's fine, isn't he?
Somehow beating the odds and not getting kidnapped or killed is not the issue.
I don't know what you want me to do. You've been doing your best to avoid me for the last month. You won't answer my text or my calls. You never come to the door when I go to your apartment. You took every other option away from me, so there was nothing left for me to do but take him straight to the bar.
Why are you taking it for granted that you have to shove your kid off onto me? You could always, look after him yourself. And you're damn right I've been avoiding you. I know that if I gave you the opportunity, you'd pull another stunt like you did last month and stick me with your kid overnight.
So you were avoiding me. You're admitting it? How could you be so cold to me? We're family. Family is supposed to stick up for one another.
Night. You know who else is your family? Aiden, and he's way closer to you than I am. Were you being a good family member to him when you abandoned him alone in front of the bar so you could go off and do whatever? And after all this time, you still haven't found anyone or anywhere to send him other than me?
I don't believe you. Aiden is your nephew, remember? Don't you want to do everything you can to keep him safe? Why should I throw him in some daycare when I can leave him with his own aunt?
Me? You're only giving him to me because you can't abandon him at daycare overnight. I have work to do, Sharon. A lot of my people depend on me to be the best every day. And I can't do that if I'm exhausted from babysitting your kid all day and night.
What? You think I have it easy or something? What about me? I managed to get sole custody of Aiden after the divorce, but now I have to take care of him all by myself. It's awful. I can't do this all by myself. So you can take him off my hands whenever I need a break.
What?
And you can give up trying to avoid me. I know where your bar is, so I'll just park him over there whenever I want to. So if you don't want to be responsible for Aiden getting hurt, you better keep a close eye on the front door.
This is insane. You're behaving like a woman out of some bad soap opera. I mean, what kind of mother would show such wanton disgrace for their own child's safety?
I don't need any lectures on motherhood from someone with no kids of her own. Fine. You want to be a little brat about this? Okay, how about I give you $100 every time you look after him?
You're not giving me anything. That's not your money. You're gonna take it out of your husband's child support payments, aren't you?
So what if I am? That money is supposed to be used on Aiden, right? It's no different than me paying for a daycare or a babysitter for him. Have fun with Aiden today. Oh, and by the way, I mean for the next few days. I'm going on vacation. I already dropped him off, so hurry on over to your bar to pick him up.
I see you've abandoned your son on my doorstep yet again. My husband told you to knock that off, didn't he?
Yeah, you sent him to do your dirty work, didn't you? Well, too bad. He doesn't get to tell me what to do, and neither do you. Aiden is my son, and I say you take care of him. You know, he's getting pretty used to you lately. What would you say to just letting him live at your place? That would save me a lot of trouble. Just make sure to take him to my ex-husband's house on his days, okay?
I hate to tell you this, Sharon, but Aiden isn't here anymore.
Huh? No, that's impossible. I left him out in front of your bar a couple of hours ago.
And he was gone. He was already gone by the time I got here.
Then, where is he?
It seems like someone picked him up before I had the chance to.
What? Who did?
The police.
No, you're joking, right? Tell me you're joking. But why did the police come and pick him up? Did you call them?
I didn't have to. It's a pretty busy area, Sharon. The police patrol an area all the time.
Did the police tell you anything? Is Aiden at the police station now? Go and pick him up right away.
The police department called the bar a little while ago. They said they saw a child standing alone out in the front of the bar, so they took it over to the police station. I suppose they assumed he must have been a child of someone who worked at the bar.
Are you listening to me? I said go and pick him up right now.
They asked me what the deal was, and I told them the truth, the whole truth. So they did some digging of their own and contacted Aiden's father for me. I really appreciate that. I had no idea how to contact him because you never gave me any of his information.
They called my ex, but I have sole custody of Aiden. Why wouldn't they call me first?
According to them, they tried to contact you multiple times. You never answered the phone, though, and his dad was his next of kin.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that what that number was? I thought the phone number for the cops was 911.
No, Sharon. That's the emergency dispatch number. Police stations have regular phone numbers, too. I hope getting all those phone calls didn't interrupt whatever sort of fun you were having right now. Oh, and by the way, I think you should know that your ex-husband is going to sue you to get custody of Aiden back. He called me a little bit ago to thank me for looking after Aiden and apologizing for what you were doing to me.
He can't do that.
Yes, he can. Are you serious? And what you did was the very definition of child neglect. You abandoned him alone in front of a bar. He has every right to take custody from you.
That's ridiculous. I didn't abandon him. I just left him with you for a little while. I don't do this all the time, just every once in a while. I don't deserve to lose custody of Aiden.
Not only do you deserve to lose custody, I'd say a lengthy prison sentence is also in order.
Are they going to throw me in jail for loving my son? Loving him more than anyone else in the world?
Oh, shut up, Sharon. You didn't fight for custody of Aiden because you loved him. All you want to do is collect a large alimony check from your ex-husband. He told me a lot of things I didn't know before, Sharon. Like, for example, the fact that you don't have practically any savings at all. So you lied to me. You were using his child support payments on yourself.
This is your fault. Why don't you go to work so late? If you wouldn't have been such a lazy loser, then the police wouldn't have picked him up, and I wouldn't be in this mess right now. You call yourself a manager? Going into work at 5:30?
At least I work. Meanwhile, you're living off your husband's child support payments. How about you get a job and support Aiden on your own?
Oh, so now you're acting all high and mighty because you're a bartender or something? You think you're better than me because you have a job and I don't?
Yeah, basically.
And you think I'm some kind of neglectful mother, huh?
Yep, right again.
Are you making fun of me?
I don't know. I don't really feel like I am. I'm just calling it as I see it. How many times do I have to remind you that you dropped off your child at the front door of a bar in the middle of a city that's currently experiencing a crime wave? Huh. If it weren't for the fact that this is a real child we're talking about, that would be hilariously stupid. And now you're getting exactly the consequences anyone should expect for doing something so stupid.
Are you telling me I deserve to lose Aiden?
That is exactly what I'm saying. You are a pathetic imbecile and are reaping what you've sown.
Stop calling me stupid. I'm not.
You're not just stupid. I've met people who are just stupid. I've worked with people who are just stupid. People who are just stupid aren't dangerous. Your brand of stupidity, however, put your own child in grave danger. You're stupid and dangerous. I can't have such a stupid, dangerous person coming around my business. So if you ever come back again, I'm calling the police immediately.
Screw you, Kim. I'm gonna lose my only source of income thanks to you. How am I supposed to pay my bills now? Are you gonna pay them for me?
What? First, you make me babysit your kid and now you want me to babysit you? You're an adult. You can take care of yourself.
Shut up. You're gonna pay for this.
Oh, did I make you upset? You're acting like a total child.
I said shut up. I'll show you. I'm gonna barge into your store and trash the place.
Sorry, Sharon, but I'm afraid you won't be able to get in. It's a bar, remember? Bars are for adults. You can come back once you've grown up a little. Sharon talked a big game, saying she was going to show up at my store, but she never did. I was prepared for the worst, so I was pretty relieved when it became clear she wasn't going to follow through with her threats. Apparently, she was so busy dealing with the police and her ex-husband that she didn't even have time to deal with me. In the end, she lost custody of Aiden and lost her child support payments along with it. She had been living off those payments ever since she got divorced, so she was in for a rude awakening when her bank account was drained. And who did she go first for help? None other but her younger brother, my husband, Jake. She launched straight in and demanded he give her money and allow her to live with us. Obviously, Jake declined, and he made it clear that he didn't want anything to do with her ever again. A while later, I found out that she started working at a bar near mine. It just so happened that the owner of the bar is an acquaintance of mine who regularly comes to my bar after his closes. I got concerned he might not know who he was dealing with when he hired her, so I went out of my way and told him about the whole incident with Aiden. But I guess she already earned herself a pretty lousy reputation at the bar through her terrible personality alone. They hated her before they even knew about what she did to her son. I'd like to think that she'll learn her lesson and change her ways before too much longer, but I'm not really hopeful.